Musicians Talk Show is brought to you by Bandzoogle. Bandzoogle makes it easy to build a stunning website for your music in minutes. Choose from hundreds of mobile-friendly themes, then customize your design and content in a few clicks with Bandzoogle's easy visual editor. All the features you need for a professional website are already built in, including tools to sell your music and merch commission-free right on your website, mailing list tools to grow your fan list and send newsletters, integrations to pull in content from all your online services like Twitter, Instagram, and SoundCloud, and live support from their musician-friendly team 7 days a week. Bandzoogle plans start at just $8.29 a month and include your own free custom domain name. So go to bandzoogle.com to try it free for 30 days, and be sure to use the promo code TMTS to get 15% off your first year of your subscription. Okay, before we get started, Matt and I have lots of great ideas to improve the podcast, but we can't do it without you. So if you want to help us grow, click support the show at musicianstalkshow.com and consider signing up for our Patreon. We have tons of great perks and rewards for you, such as early guest reveals, a weekly live Q&A, and access to a monthly exclusive episode only for our patrons.
Sign up for our mailing list on our website to gain access to our private community on Discord. There you can communicate with Dallas and I directly about all things TMTS. You can also follow at Musicians Talk Show on Instagram to discover new episodes, vote in polls, and join the conversation.
Thanks for listening, and enjoy the show. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Musicians Talk Show podcast. It's episode 61, and I'm one of your two co-hosts, Dallas DeWhite.
And I'm Matt Tolley.
How is it going, Matt?
It's going. It's busy.
Yeah, man.
As usual.
It's, busy as usual. I played a gig last night.
Yeah, you want to talk about it for a second?
Sure.
Yeah.
I just subbed in with, so my drummer in the LA maybe sometimes gigs with this other band. They just kind of a loose bar band cover,
Sure.
And their main singer guitar player couldn't make it, so they had me come in and
it was cool because you got
kind of just filling. I had no idea what I was filling in for. They were just like, I can play. I'll hang whatever we need to do.
And a ton of covers, so it's like,
dude, I played. We probably played. Let's say we played 25 songs. 12 of them, 13, 14. I'd never even heard.
Oh wow. How did it go? How did that part go?
I've never had a problem with that stuff. That's
cool.
easy. I'm just following charts, following Jake, following Brian, the bassist.
Right.
So I've never had an issue with that. Or, worst case, I'm just, riffing. Like I'm making it work.
Just
like nobody could tell. I was I'm literally playing songs I've never even heard.
That's crazy.
Not I've heard but not know how to play. Like I've never heard these songs.
Some lead, I could see how that would be all right. But if you're trying to play the rhythm and know all the parts, I mean that's really tough.
Verse, chorus, going through all the parts. It's like, luckily I've trained my brain to think like a songwriter. Yeah. So I kind of know, like, okay, here comes the chorus, well before it comes. And it's like, okay, well, I learned the chorus last time I watched Jake play it, so now I'm going to nail it,
Sure.
It's a kind of learning
Your
on the fly.
Your understanding of a song is deep enough to where you can actually apply it to
only a couple times it threw me off. So we played Proud Mary, which I know the song, but I've never played it or anything. And Brian leans over to me. I was like, do you have a chart for this one or anything? He was like, nah, dude, it's super easy. Follow me. And like, it starts with that intro part, and then it goes to a D, which is like really unexpected.
Yeah. I kind of forgot about that.
He was saying like, oh, it's really easy and you'll expect all of the changes and turns. And it like does this weird part with like 4 chord changes, and then it hits a D, which is like totally like not where you're thinking it's going to go.
Out of left field.
And that was the first 10 seconds of the song. So I was like, well, this is going to go great.
Yeah.
But it ended up going okay because it did sit on D the whole time. But then I also had Brian next to me, and luckily he's good in theory. So he's turning to me going 5, 4, 6, 2. Like he's calling out chords, and I'm just kind of hanging with him.
Good.
But we had a good time. Brian's a sick bass player.
Cool.
Foz is a good drummer. Foz sang lead on a couple.
Oh, cool.
I was blown away, dude.
What song
great. Do you know Jet Airliner?
Yeah.
I've never heard that song.
Yeah.
Everyone else knew it, but me.
That's a good
song. I'm talking like everyone in the crowd was singing.
Yeah. I know that one.
There's a lot of famous songs I don't really know.
Yeah.
He sang Fortunate Son, which was good. I think he also sang Proud Mary, which is also CCR.
Cool.
He sang a couple others. I'm struggling to remember right now. And then they threw me into the thick of it, and I sang Purple Rain, Waiting on the World to Change, and
you do great on the Prince stuff.
Pride and Joy, and I did Kiss too.
Oh, cool. Which song did you do for Kiss?
No, I did Prince.
Oh, the song Kiss. Sorry, I thought you were like saying
song Kiss. Yeah.
The Jet Airliner. Isn't that big old jet airliner?
Yes.
That's that. And you've never heard that.
I kind of recognize the melody.
Who does that song?
My proudest moment of the night was
don't carry me too far away.
Yeah, that's it. It's a good
How
song.
do you not know that
Yeah.
song?
I mean, I kind of like know the melody.
Okay.
But,
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
couldn't
really
tell you who did it.
Yeah,
Never
I'm trying
learned
to think
play
of who
it.
did it. If it's definitely like classic rock, something like.
Oh yeah, yeah. See, it's funny for loving classic rock. It was. See, I like classic metal.
Oh yeah,
It's funny, like classic hard rock. Like classic rock to me is super vanilla, and like I'm just kind of like, eh.
Yeah.
The most I like Boston, but like Eagles. I mean, I like the Eagles,
Yeah.
but dude, like
It
there has
really
never been
depends.
like a whiter, like vanilla, fucking just like straight ahead boring band. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like they amazing songwriters, but it's just like, dude, I need some aggression. I need some attitude. Like
I like it, yeah, but I do like occasionally like a nice like soft it's classic rock record. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's some cool things about like
A
just
song
like, being able
on
to
a record
relax
for me.
Like a whole record, really. Actually, the Steve Miller Band has a really good record. That's like
I saw them open for Journey. They were good. He has it right. He still goes out and does his thing, and he just hires a bunch of like 28-year-olds to like shred around him.
Nice. So he
he's
plays
like
the song.
68 or whatever, and he's just out there like strumming chords and singing. Everyone's loving it, and he's got all these like monsters behind him.
dude, that's killer. That's killer. Yeah. So I don't know what we're talking about. That's the show went good. Everything's good. That's cool. You
Yeah,
filmed-
I mean, the organization of the thing is like we got there and like nobody knew what songs we were gonna play.
Right. And you've never jammed with him before.
I
mean,
let him use
obviously.
my PA system one time, and I quote ran sound, which
Okay.
is I just kind of showed
So
up
you
and hung
kind of
out.
knew what they do at least.
But yeah, I mean, I met them all.
Cool.
I jumped up that day that I ran sound, which was like a year and a half ago. I jumped up and played like one song or something. So I mean, I knew all the people. But except Brian, I'd never played with Brian, but he actually auditioned for the Journey tribute I was in back in the day,
right.
and that didn't work out just for scheduling reasons. He's a
Right.
great player.
That's cool.
And then Jake, I've like jammed with, but never like played with. So we were just
I've seen
trading
him play
solos.
guitar. He definitely can
We
play.
were just trading solos all night and having fun.
Cool.
I kept trying to like play off of him and like get a harmony going, but he kept changing on me. I was like, damn it, Jake.
Come on, Jake.
Because he
That's
hits.
all right.
We were
That's-
doing this one
that stuff
song
that
in
takes
C,
time of jamming
and he's
together,
hitting
you know?
C like just.
Right.
And he hits it like 5 times in a row, and I'm like, okay, I'll hit it with him on the 6th.
And he
And I
changed it
was
on
going to
you?
go up and do a harmony, and as soon as I hit it right where he was gonna hit it,
Yeah.
it sounded like to me he went somewhere else. So I was like, come on.
That's just about getting more comfortable with each
So-
other and knowing how each other play.
Yeah.
You know?
But it was
takes
rough.
time.
It was rough. I've never experienced this really, but we started like 4 songs and just like, I don't know why, but they just couldn't get it together enough to like continue.
Oh, okay.
Like we started and it sounded like we were about to play a song, and then they stopped and they were like, all right, we don't really know that one. Next song. I was like, what are you doing?
Well, yeah. That's
So-
that's the and you
It's
know,
definitely a little cringy in some aspects, but it's
Putting
also,
time in,
so chill. Everyone there was like
Right.
friends of the singer,
Right.
Ashley.
okay, cool.
And I mean, good players, but the group as a whole, I think, was kind of struggling to gel a little bit.
Sure. Well, it's put together like that, you know.
But we had fun.
Cool.
And one nice thing about those gigs is it's usually pretty low key. You can read from a chart and just hang out and like, who cares?
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah, you're playing music. I mean, everybody's good players. So
I got to remind myself sometimes it's not as serious as I make it.
and sometimes,
But I do like taking it seriously because then you come off like, oh shit, these guys are super good. Especially if you're in that scene
Yeah.
where they expect that.
Yeah.
And then
course.
you're not that. They're like, oh damn, like these guys are
Where
ready.
did you guys play?
The venue?
Yeah.
The Cove. It's in Lake Wiley.
Okay.
It's actually right by Paul. It's like right between Paul's house and
Is it a
Ashley's
bar
dad's
or is
house,
it a-
Brian. Yeah, it's like a restaurant bar.
Cool.
Yeah, they had a decent little stage, 6 inches off the ground, but it was decent like size.
Yeah. So aside from Game of Thrones, I've been watching a bunch of Netflix documentaries. Obviously, we know about the big ones that have come out. The Queen.
Wait, you're
one.
all caught up on Thrones though?
Yeah, I am.
Cool. So Matt and I are both really big Game of Thrones fans.
Yeah, I stole a code to be able to watch it.
As we record this, it's Sunday, so the
it'll be on
the
tonight.
Battle of Winterfell, episode 3, season 8 is coming on tonight.
Everybody's gonna die.
Everybody's gonna die.
We'll
For
see
sure.
what happens. There's definitely gonna be some deaths.
There's definitely gonna be a lot of deaths.
Mm-hmm.
There's 2 ways they can go to be like truly shocking, which I feel like they like being. They can kill fucking everyone,
Yeah, they don't mind doing that.
or
Red
they can
Wedding.
let everyone live and surprise the shit out of everyone.
Yeah.
Because that would be equally surprising.
This is the last.
I feel like
season.
these-
This is only the 3rd episode, so they can't kill everybody off. They're not gonna have a season left. You know, they have to.
Yeah, for sure. They have
So-
to wrap it up.
but
I
it's
feel
gonna be
like,
interesting.
but I feel like the 2 showrunners, Benioff and Wise, I feel like they really take a lot of pride and trying to like surprise the audience with twists and turns and stuff.
Well, that's partly
So,
writing too. The actual books are like that. They're doing their best they can to keep.
They're beyond the books though now, aren't they?
Correct.
I heard
'cause
they've been
the
beyond
last
for a
book,
while.
They're waiting on it right now, but they're not waiting. Obviously,
They're
but
done.
It's coming.
Yeah.
The book is coming. They had a talk with the
George
George
R.
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 Martin and
But I think they and I'm
They know
not
what
super
the
clear
end
on it,
is,
but I
but-
feel like they deviated, didn't they?
They did. They started the first
Yeah.
season
I like
is
that.
almost.
I don't want
literally-
people that read the
first
books to just know everything.
Dude,
That's
the first
fucking
season
boring.
is word for word the book. Like it literally follows in time.
Yeah.
The episodes are chapters. Like everything.
Oh,
It's
cool.
like it literally lines right up, and then after that, it slowly starts falling apart
Yeah,
from that.
I like
So
that.
They miss like stories because they just don't have enough time to do all the
I
production.
want people
on.
that
So
read
when
the
they-
books to still have some twists and turns. They're like, oh shit, you know.
Yeah, and it's good to have a different interpretation kind of too. There's like
Yeah.
different things that they skipped or whatever. So once you skip one thing, then you don't have that character or whatever, and you can't like later on it gets harder and harder. It gets farther and farther.
Yeah,
from,
it's a butterfly effect. Yeah,
Exactly,
for sure.
Right.
But Thrones tonight. But besides that, you've been watching some biopics.
Yeah, well, obviously we were talking about the Queen one came out, the Crew, the Dirt.
I have not seen Bohemian Rhapsody. I did see The Dirt, which we talked about, and there's one called Rocket Man coming out, I think, over the summer. Elton John.
Yeah.
So I was kind of wondering aloud to myself, what's up? Why are all these
I'm hoping
biopics coming out?
we're seeing
Not even documentaries, biopics.
right. I'm hoping we're seeing like a
3 in 6 months, pretty much.
a little bit of a backlash from all the depths that we've had. You know what I mean? I think that's really what it is. We're seeing like people are realizing that, oh shit, like all these awesome artists that everybody listens to every day. Like if you put on the radio, you hear these artists like, 20 times a day, some of the like the bigger ones. Like, how often are you going to hear Queen on the radio and that just, you know what I mean? Like, so we're listening to them all the time, but they're gone. And you know what I mean? I think people are maybe
kind of. Elton
nostalgic
John's
a
on
little.
tour right now. The Crew, they're all still alive.
but they're gone. They're not touring anymore. So it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they kind of found a
I'm
way
not
around
saying
that,
death.
though.
Yeah.
They were like, all right, we're not going to tour. We are, however, going to record an album and put out a movie.
Yeah.
And like, we're definitely still a group doing
Gonna get
shit.
yeah, exactly. And they're
So.
going to get a huge, paycheck from that because it's doing so well. I'm
Yeah.
glad for 'em.
Queen, obviously, Freddie Mercury's been dead a long time.
Right.
But they still do stuff.
Yeah, but one of the ones that kind of got me thinking about this, talking about it on this episode, was The Devil at the Crossroads, Robert Johnson documentary. And that is less of a biopic, more of a documentary.
I have not seen this one.
Yeah, it literally came out April 26th. So it's
Oh, so 2 days
brand
ago?
new. Yeah, it's brand new. And I just happened to be flipping through and I was like, oh, this looks cool. It's something I've always kind of thought about. They talk about the 27 Club, which we've talked about.
Is he in that?
I believe he is. Yeah, he died at 27 or really young at least. I mean, they definitely like talked about the fact
I forget. Is the Rev in, or did he die at 28?
he died at 28.
Okay.
But the interesting thing about this, I thought, was you know how we always talk about like the 27 Club and also selling your soul to the devil kind of idea, that Crossroads thing.
Mm-hmm. Zeppelin.
And this one, there's a really like, it's obviously this guy was big in the 50s, you know what I mean, or whatever. And he was apparently a guitar player. I don't want to give away the whole thing, but here's a quick little synopsis of what he was. A guitar player that wasn't very good, went to have a family. His wife died in labor, and the kid died too. As he was trying to get to her, I forget why she was gone or they were far apart from each other, but he didn't even make it to see him or whatever at the, their say goodbye or whatever. And then he quit playing guitar when his wife came pregnant. And then, so after they both died, he was like, well, I guess I'm back to music again. And he picks up his guitar. And I think it was just after a little while, he met somebody that mentored him. Ike, I can't remember his last name, Ike something, but he taught him that if you play the blues in the graveyard at midnight, then the Hanks, which are spirits or ghosts, will come out and teach you how to play the blues. And so they would sit in a graveyard, the two of them, on two gravestones facing each other with acoustic guitars and play blues guitar in the graveyard at midnight. And I thought that was so like over the top, but also like really cool. I don't know why I get a kick out of that. Just
I'm wondering, like, if that was me, I would be like, yeah, no.
Yeah, well, I live on a graveyard. So,
Also,
so for
YouTube,
me,
though.
Right. I literally live right next to a graveyard. So for me, I'm kind of excited or curious at least to go out there and play some guitar. I'm not scared. I don't really have a lot of like superstition or anything like that. I don't believe in a lot of things because I just have never been proven or whatever. But I'm down. I'm down to go out there and, now the summer, it's warmed up, midnight, go out there, sit on a gravestone,
There you go.
play some blues. I don't know.
So respectful.
Yeah. But anyways, the documentary was great. I thought it was really interesting to think of the life of a musician back then when you couldn't get to places. Like just to think that guy couldn't make it to his wife and I forget if it was a girl or boy kid, but, and he had to miss out on all that and then dedicated his life to music after that. But then he didn't live very long. Apparently he died at a young age. But anyways, great documentary. Not a biopic, not like that. It's a more of a straightforward documentary. I think it's only like 45 minutes long.
So speaking of the biopic versus documentaries. I saw an article. Slash came out and said there will not be a Guns N' Roses biopic, but he did say, and I think you know this, most GNR fans do, the Use Your Illusion tour, which was 2 or 3 years long, like 90 to 92 or 3. I think it was 91 to 93,
something like that.
So 2 years. But they filmed basically every second of that tour, on stage and off.
So there could be some kind of
there's
behind the scenes.
There's tapes and tapes and tapes and tapes and tapes of footage from that tour in a vault somewhere. And
that would be huge.
Slash said if they do something like that, it'll be with that.
That would be.
He
huge.
wants to put it together and release that.
Yeah, I would love that. Like almost like the Pantera videos.
Well, we've seen the on-stage stuff. I mean, you have those DVDs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have both of those DVDs, and I watched them so many times they started skipping as a kid. But
yeah, I actually have them on VHS.
I'd love to see the
tapes.
off-stage stuff.
Yeah. Like the Pantera home videos, like those are awesome because you really get a glimpse of like how they were living. You know what I mean, and what their personalities were really like. And I'd love to see that for a Guns N' Roses pick. That'd be really awesome. I know.
Interesting because they're so closed doors. Did you see the article?
That's the mystique. That's the old.
Yeah, that's the one
mystique.
word I use for them. Did you see the article where Slash is supposedly recording with Axl this weekend? Yesterday,
I did not.
Yep.
Well, cool. What are the word details around it?
God, I forget. Somebody on Instagram posted. I can't remember. It was something about. Oh, some guy had. I don't know who or how he was related to everything, but some guy had tapes of Duff and Izzy writing songs together in 91.
Yeah,
or whatever.
That's cool.
And he posted a picture of it and said, I let GNR management know I have these, and somebody came by and got them, and Slash is using them in the recording session this Saturday or something like
awesome.
that. And it was kind of like he wasn't. It didn't seem like he was trying to announce that,
right?
But he just said kind of what he understood to be true, and then of course that was like headline. So
right, so yeah, because anything that related to them is so on fire right now. Everybody wants to know.
Which is another interesting thing because of the mystique. If they were open about shit, none of this would be news.
The reunion too, man, is just like everybody, I and myself included, thought it was never going to happen. Nobody thought that this was like Slash and Axl would get back together. Like it was getting so late.
Yeah,
he already put another record out, without him. So it kind of just seemed like to me like there was no way they're getting back together. But I'm so glad that they did, and I think that's what's got everybody so excited.
I'm saying this now, and I've said it before, and I will continue to say it until I am proven right, because I know I will be right. People will hate this album, whatever the fuck it is. People will hate it.
I will be open-minded to it.
I'm gonna love it no matter what.
Yeah, I think
Guns N' Roses is like Star Wars to me.
Yeah,
doesn't matter what it is, who made it.
Like
cartoon, I love it.
Do you like the Chinese Democracy record?
Yeah, I love Chinese Democracy.
Me too. And I didn't like it at first. For some reason, it took really some getting used to. And I think it was when I saw him at their residency in Vegas. I was there for a week, and I saw him play 3 times.
That album came out 2008, I think.
Yeah.
It was distributed exclusively through Best Buy, at least for a little bit. Because I remember I pre-ordered it and it was delivered to my house the day before it came out.
Yeah, which is good.
So
they were on it.
I mean, I was into it, and I love that album from the beginning. Yeah. I mean, I was so excited.
I didn't know for the longest time that Sorry was about Slash. Supposedly, I think it's speculatory.
Supposedly is the word I would use for sure.
Yeah. But anyways, I will like it no matter what. So that's good news to hear that they're working on new stuff. I'm guessing that they're using an old song that they wrote to put on the new record, or are they just gonna do something?
I mean, they probably have 150 ideas,
right?
So they're gonna
That's what Van Halen when David Lee Roth got back together with Van Halen.
This is a while ago, though, right?
For a
when
different kind of truth, a
different kind of truth. That's what it was called.
Yeah, so it was like
There's
2012
some good stuff on there for sure.
I think it was 2012. Yeah, well, that's what their technique was too. They had old recordings.
Oh yeah.
And
Wolf went through all of them.
Exactly, and that's what gave them that nice, fresh sound. It was like very much related, like very much sounded like the old Van Halen.
People hate on Wolfgang, but it seems to me that he's the one that revived that band.
Yeah. He really was part of the reason why David Lee Roth got back together. They reached out to him.
By the way, follow him on Instagram. He seems like such a cool and genuinely funny human being.
Yeah, definitely. I think he's
people
an awesome
message
guy.
him shit all the time about his dad, and he replies with like the wittiest, funniest shit.
Yeah,
like,
he's game. He's game for it all. I like that about him. So
and he's also monster bass player and good musician. He's got an album coming out with like Tremonti, like it's his solo album, but he's got like Tremonti on it, Miles Kennedy, like all these people we love.
Man, I need to check that out.
I think
Is there a single?
I think he toured or recorded the bass for that Tremonti album.
Oh wow!
For the latest one.
Awesome.
There's 3, I think now. Jeez.
Awesome. Well, he's doing it. I mean, he's playing Van Halen. He's not like,
But all those guys, Wolf, Tremonti, Miles Kennedy, Slash, all those guys record with Elvis in Orlando.
Yeah.
And I mean, he has some monster tones.
Dude,
like his stuff sounds so good.
Well, maybe one day we'll get to work with him.
Yeah, man.
That'd be cool.
10 grand a song. Let's do it.
So one more thing about biopics, that this one's not music related, but the guy who started National Lampoon, they did a biopic on him. He died early too, like not real early, but like 30s, I think, or something like that. And it's called A Futile and Stupid Gesture, and that is a dramatic reenactment of it all, basically. But I love that they get all these comedians, like these modern day comedians, to play the old comedians that have, obviously they've grown up, so they're not going to be able to play their young self. So they got these young comedians paying homage to these old comedians, like Chevy Chase is in it.
Oh, yeah,
John
cool.
Belushi's in it. You know what I mean? And it's just fucking hilarious, dude. I really enjoyed the shit out of it. I didn't
The
expect
documentary
to like
was?
It's not a documentary. It's a biopic. So it's a
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's a reenactment of the whole scene of how National Lampoon got started. The magazine. It was a magazine first. Then they started making movies, which most people will know the National Lampoon movies, like Van Wilder. Animal House was
That's
one of the
the only
first
one I've
ones.
seen, and I think I saw it on like TV, like Comedy
Christmas
Central.
Vacation you've seen though, right?
No,
Oh, okay. Vacation.
I don't even know what that is.
It's where they go across the country to go to Disney World or whatever, or not Disney World. It's Moose Land or whatever. I don't know.
That's hilarious. Definitely haven't seen it.
Oh, great. Chevy Chase is that's some of his best
If
stuff.
you start talking movies around me, you'll quickly realize I have not seen most movies that people think you should have seen,
Type in National Lampoon.
but I have seen
Yeah.
every television show.
Type
Pretty close to every single one.
Type in National Lampoon on Netflix and just find a good one. Find
Oh, do
something
they have? I know they
There's
have.
so many of them, and they're so good. They're such like genius comedians. I think.
Yeah, that's interesting because I kind of. I mean, it's not my favorite, but I have seen a lot of like the Seth Rogen and clan, their group.
Yeah.
Which started with
Pineapple
Superbad
Express kinda
and went
stuff.
out.
Yeah,
from,
Superbad.
Yeah, Pineapple Express. Others,
The End of
Neighbors,
the
I
World.
guess. Right.
This is the end or something like
This
that.
is the end. Yeah, that was good. I've seen pretty much all of those.
Yeah, I love that group of guys.
They're funny. Like some of it's funny and some of it's just kind of like dumb.
Sure.
But
Depends on your sense of humor, obviously.
yeah, and no, like
It's also
not every joke lands. You know what I
No,
mean?
right.
Like
Well,
for
yeah,
every
it depends
person.
on- it's
Like
not for
what
that.
what I think is stupid is someone's favorite part, and what I think is the funniest part,
Sure.
someone else thinks is stupid.
It just
so it's
depends
like,
on how you relate. Yeah,
it's just how it goes. But I
yeah.
am super into comedy. I have seen basically every comedy special that's come out in the past 10 years too.
Yeah, yeah.
So-
I don't know what the specific group of like comedians you'd consider this. Like, I really can't think of off the
Name
top.
3 of them, and I'll know the
I
clan
can't
you're talking
even.
about.
Yeah, I can't even name 3 of them.
Is it
I
like
don't think.
SNL people, like Kristen Wiig and those?
They
people?
are a lot of SNL people. Actually,
Fred Armisen, like those guys.
I wouldn't be able to name names, man. They're not my necessarily specialty of knowing.
Here, well, you
Yeah.
I'll pull it up while
yeah,
you
pull
talk.
up A Futile and Stupid Gesture, but I really think that it
cast?
parallels, the IMDb or something like that. I think it parallels a musician's life. You know what I mean? Because you find out in this movie that they have no hope. It seems like in so many portions of it, there are so many.
Yeah, this is a great cast.
Oh yeah, dude, tons of comedians that are.
So
really
you got
funny.
here's the ones I know: Will Forte from SNL.
Yeah.
Joel McHale. I mean, everybody knows him.
Will Forte plays Douglas Kenny, the main character.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it's
Donald
really,
Gleason, who's in Star Wars.
okay. Yeah,
He's
nice.
General Hux.
Yeah. Who else is in it, man? There's some
Thomas
really-
Lennon's funny.
Amy Rossum from Shameless. She's in it, so she's great.
I know Seth Green, of course. John Daly, Matt Walsh from Veep. He's really funny in
Yeah.
Veep.
But
Ed
anyway,
Helms,
so
everyone knows.
just let me
Paul
finish
Scheer,
this
Joe
thought real quick.
Trulio.
This thought real quick that it parallels a musician's life because you realize how many times you get rejected, and
Max
how many
Greenfield.
times like it can seem like it's a futile effort, like the title.
Yeah, this is like a bunch of my favorite people.
Yeah. So watch
it.
it and enjoy it. It's funny. And
Lonnie
it's-
Ross. Have you seen The Rocker?
Yeah.
He plays Sticks, the guy
Yeah,
that replaces
yeah,
Fish. And,
yeah.
and the best part is that
He's great in this
when
movie,
they all
too.
meet him at the end, they're all suddenly like English
Yeah.
and like they're an American band.
yeah. Exactly. It's like, oh, we're not doing the English accents anymore. Or whatever. I forget.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
No, they become English.
They become
and like
English.
they
That's what it
he,
is.
like they got really famous and all of a
Yeah,
sudden
I
got
remember.
English accents and they
Yeah.
were like, You're English? Like we're from Cleveland.
Yeah. That's so good. That was a great movie.
Having a laugh.
So
That
yeah,
movie's amazing.
that movie's great. I think, and it parallels a musician's.
By the way, I have to
Pathway.
watch these because I'm a sucker for any rock and roll movie in particular.
Okay.
I love The Rocker. I love Rockstar. I love Spinal Tap. I love School of Rock.
Yeah.
All these biopics, I'm sure I love. Anything like
A
that.
Mighty Wind is really good. It's
Anyone with a shot of someone from behind walking out into a stage.
yeah. Do you remember when
My
we were at
favorite movie.
Sylvia Theater and we tried to watch A Mighty Wind backstage or in the green room and the TV was so old and it made that whining noise and Rasan couldn't take it anymore, so we had to turn it off.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
A Mighty Wind is basically the Spinal Tap guys that they do a spoof on folk music, which is really,
Oh, okay.
really good, dude. I can't like
Send me a list of
It's-
these.
Yeah, it's good
I'll
for
never
a
watch
musician.
it,
I
but
don't
it'll be
think,
cool
I don't
to have
think
the list.
regular listeners like it, or regular people would necessarily like A Mighty Wind. They might not get it. All the jokes might go over their head. But if you're a
Is
musician,
it like kind of deeper music stuff?
it's okay, so they play folk music, and it's just funny how seriously they take it all, and also like the problems that they come across. It's like Spinal Tap, but it's for folk music instead of metal. You know what I mean? They're just
Yeah.
making fun of that side of it. You'd love it. You'd have to really sit down and pay attention though, because the jokes are kind of there's no laugh cue, so you never know like when the joke hits, but you got to kind of pay attention.
Pretty much every show I watch has no laugh cue.
Yeah, I know,
But my favorites at least. Parks,
Right.
Office.
But
New Girl.
I could just see how people would miss the point of it. You know what I mean? So you got to kind of watch it and really get like what they're trying to get across. But great movie. Anyways, we got some stuff coming up.
Yeah, we got as you guys, I think we announced it. We posted on Instagram. Yeah, so but we haven't talked about it. I don't think.
Let's talk about it.
So we're releasing a cover of Avenged Sevenfold's "Beast and the Harlot" that is scheduled for release May 3rd.
Yeah.
So we thought we'd talk a little bit about the legalities of releasing a cover song and the process to do that, and also just kind of talk about specifically how we did this one.
Yeah, let's start out by talking about why did we choose Beast and the Harlots? Your student, one of
It's
your
funny,
guitar
yeah.
teachers-
I love this, so I'll tell the quick little thing. So first of all, it started with you sending me the mix breakdown.
Right.
And I watched the video and I was like, and everybody knows the story. We actually did talk a little bit
talked about
this.
the breakdowns.
But everybody knows the story of me in 8th grade. So, but that I say that to say just how far I go back with this song.
Yeah.
But I was reminded like how good this song was.
Yeah.
How
I
good
think
all
this
the
is
riffs were, the songwriting, the lyrics, the melodies,
I
the
think
changes.
this is their masterpiece. City
everything.
of Evil, in my opinion,
yeah,
is their masterpiece.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Perfectly followed upon with the White Album, but
sure.
But this was the pinnacle, I think,
I think so too.
as far as music.
The break,
Not pinnacle of career, but pinnacle of music.
Right. Well, they broke with City of Evil, like really broke across the
For sure.
national scale.
But they're still monsters. They still play huge headline festivals and stuff. But
their new music's great. I listen to all their albums.
So the mix breakdown happened, and at the same time, two of my students, one guitar and one drums, wanted to learn the song. So I had to watch the mix breakdown, and I didn't have to, but I learned all that stuff.
Right. It was a good way to do it.
And then also was
it just
digging
came out.
back into all the riffs and the drums and
right.
relearning everything this time properly because I was in 8th grade.
Right.
What do you want from me?
You're a little more knowledgeable on the theory nowadays.
So those two things combined, and at the same time, I think either you or me or both of us were saying like we're trying to release more audio content besides the podcast.
You were gonna do it. You said you're gonna do it at Gig Night, right? Because the kids are gonna do it, and then I was gonna sing it.
Yeah.
And then I was gonna sing it, and then they were just like, well, let's just do a recording of it. Yeah, that's right.
But we had talked about having more audio content in general to release.
Was another thing,
particularly for Patreon members and stuff.
Right.
And so we thought it'd be cool to release cover songs of us doing it. So what we did, this one it was a little interesting. We actually found the multi-tracks for Beast and the Harlot, everything. So I was personally able to dig in and learn licks that Sin plays.
Yep.
Perfectly.
Right.
That are kind of hard to hear. The best example of that is in the very beginning when he's up right before the riff drops and he's doing the and then he goes that lick is impossible to hear. And so when I isolated it, I was able to hear a couple things that showed me that I was actually playing it in the wrong spot on the guitar.
I always had that.
And so when I moved it,
other stuff.
the lick made a lot more sense, and I played it, and it sounds fucking dead nuts now.
Yeah.
Because it's exactly what he played. But I was able to hear that by isolating the guitars. Also was able to hear all the different effects. And the best part was we were able to isolate the vocals and hear all the different vocals. There's so many of them.
Right.
And Matt knocked them out in like 2 hours, which was pretty cool.
2 hours and 3 bottles of water, I think, or something.
It was brutal.
It was kind of a marathon.
it was a marathon that you sprinted. Like we were moving so fast.
Yeah.
But I sang a couple harmonies and stuff myself, but it was a fun time. So
it was fun.
But what we did with the multi-tracks was instead of bothering programming our own drums or getting someone to play it, and this was a total respect thing on our part. That was the intention. We used the Rev's actual drum tracks.
Yeah.
And Johnny Christ's actual bass tracks.
Yeah, because we could do that, but I think it would really take away a lot because there's so much of that drumming in there that makes the song what it is.
Yeah.
You know? So
and it's just
been
so iconic. Now, one thing we did change is we played down a half step.
Yeah.
So I had to figure out how to tune Johnny Christ's bass down a half step in post. So that was really
It's
fun.
nice to make...
we ended up making it work.
It's nice, though, too, that because we're doing a cover, I always think of a cover as like you want to do your own thing to it. You don't want to just put out the same thing, right? If you could exactly copy somebody's version of their song, like what's the point? You just
we got pretty close.
We did, but I'm glad that we went... I was just saying I'm glad we went a half step because that way it's something different.
Yeah.
It
sounds a little heavier.
And if you play half step down,
and the biggest thing is the voice.
And
it's your voice. You know what I mean?
And if you want to play half step down or whatever, now you can play to a track. and it's a pretty
Right.
damn close one.
Yeah.
So
One thing I did do, which maybe this is sacrilege, maybe not, is I added a little beef to the snare drum.
I don't think it's sacrilege. I think it's cool. You added a modern take to it.
So his snare is almost, I don't know if it was a piccolo snare, if it was a normal snare tuned really high, but it's really high. It's like, like it's really high. And the kind of the trend now in metal is the big, like, boom, like cannonball snare.
And the
so I took his snare, of course, and then I blended in a little of my own. And I think the result's pretty good.
Yeah. Did you modify the kick too? I remember we played.
I did, and then I took it out because it sucked. His
Okay.
kick is perfect the way it is.
Good. And you saved that kick, right?
Yeah, so I took the kick sample and I have it to use in other things. So actually, in the concept album and one of our instrumentals we're working on right now, that's the primary kick drum, and I actually think it's going to probably be the primary kick drum for the whole album.
Killer.
Because it sounds so good. What I love about the kick drum, this is so nerd, is
well, it's something we grew up with too. There's an album that we like.
There's a lot less low end in it.
Right.
When he kicks, there's almost no low end. It's all click and like.
But it cuts,
instead of like boom,
but it cuts, and you have guitars tuned down
because what you have is the bass sitting under the kick. So the bass is all your low end, and the kick is, and that generally works well for like fast kick stuff.
Right.
So when you're doing double kicks, you need that kind of stuff. When you're doing like a Nickelback song where the kick's just going like boom, boom, nothing's fast.
But you need the detail,
you can get the bigger
or you need
kick.
the articulation of the kick in metal and fast music. Otherwise, you lose it in the low end.
Which is why in our song number 2 of the concept album that we finished, which is tentatively kind of titled "Becoming."
Yeah.
We when I replaced the kick sample I had with his kick sample, it was so much better.
Great. That's awesome.
Because there's a lot of fast kicks in that song, and there's a lot more clarity in it now.
I'm stoked about that, man. We're not gonna have enough time today to work on it, but we were supposed to work on it today, and I've been thinking a lot about it. So I think next time we get together, we're gonna knock that right out.
Yeah, we're doing good, and I've sent it to a few people, and they all love it. So
yeah, I'm excited about the whole thing and how it's gonna transpire. So.
Awesome.
But anyways, the Beast and the Harlot thing was really cool. I'll say just because we learned a lot more about a song we already are pretty obsessed with, and
we know every note and every harmony.
And I just really like though that we can do this and do covers. Well, I think we should do it more often. Basically, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
because
I think at least every 3 months or something.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah, just to keep some fresh content out there, and we'll decide what the next
for this one we chose to kind of stick with what they did.
Sure.
Because I think it would be too much to try to change it.
Yeah, and
it's already so perfect.
Yeah, and it's such a big song.
But for other songs, we might, pick a song and then go a totally different direction.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. We could do like an acoustic version of stuff or something, anything. Like we could do all kinds of things just to play around with the idea of doing covers, like doing the really close cover, doing the totally artsy different direction cover,
which usually starts with picking a song outside your genre.
Right.
Like Osara did "Don't You Forget About Me."
Yeah,
and we did it in drop D, and like it was really cool.
Who originally does "Don't Forget About Me"?
I want to say Simple Minds. Is that right or is that wrong?
Me. I don't know.
But there's that synth that goes din 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 din. Yeah. So I did that on lead guitar. It was really cool. I have that cover somewhere. It's really poorly recorded because I was just getting into it. But
speaking of Osara, remember the cover we did with Colton?
Yeah, we did It's So Easy. That was never released anywhere though.
No, I know, but that was cool. Maybe we could do that as content for Patreon or something.
Just release it.
Just have it, just so it's available for them. I don't know where we'd put it, but can we put it on our website?
Yeah, I just want us to try to release the highest quality stuff we can.
I thought that was good though.
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
But I think we're better now.
Definitely. Like we did that 5 years ago.
The demo we're doing.
How many years ago did we do that?
No, that was 2016. So 3
years ago. Okay. It felt like a long time ago.
It might have even been 2017, but I'm pretty sure it's 2016.
Okay.
Because that's when we were doing that version of the podcast.
Was I doing the podcast with you then?
No.
Okay. That's what
We've only been doing this for 1 year.
Yeah, that's right. Duh.
That was me and Ashton.
Yeah. Excellent. All right. So yeah, watch out for Beast and the Harlot. It should be out May 3rd is what the idea is. We're currently going through digital distribution. Oh yeah.
Yes.
We wanted to talk about the process of releasing a cover song.
We use CD Baby, as you guys know. We interviewed Kevin Bruner, their vice president of marketing. I think he's episode 43. He's in the 40s somewhere.
40s, yeah.
You got to listen to that. It's great. And he'll convince you to join CD Baby like he did me. I was with TuneCore. And I have nothing against TuneCore, but listening to all the extra stuff that CD Baby offered,
I'm in the same boat. I'm in the same boat. I use CD
also,
Baby
they don't charge a recurring fee, which I like.
Right.
TuneCore is a yearly thing.
Exactly. So if you stop paying the yearly payment or whatever, then your song's not up anymore. So
for the first time I was on TuneCore, my credit card expired and I got a new one. Mm-hmm. And so when it went to bill me again, the old card was there. Yeah. I didn't get an email or anything. My shit was just off iTunes for like 6 months before I realized.
Yeah, I'll say the same thing about
And then I had to go back and add it again.
I'll say the same thing about Reverb Nation. Similar situation, might have been credit card or might have just been like, I don't really want Reverb Nation, but I didn't realize that it was going to take all my music down as soon as I canceled my premium subscription. You can have a free account, but you have to distribute through them. You have to have a premium account. Yeah.
So you go to CD Baby. They have a little thing. If you scroll all the way down to tools from your dashboard, there's a thing that says cover song licensing or something, and it's not through CD Baby. They recommend a third-party company I think they're called Easy Song Licensing.
Yep.
Damn, is it easy. I don't understand all of the ins and outs of the legal aspects of it, but you go on there, you pay $30 for a search. They find the song. Sorry, the search is basically free, but they do the search. Once they find it, you pay the fee, and then you have a license to use that for a certain amount of like downloads or whatever. So,
okay, and so particularly like the Beast and the Harlot, how many downloads did we?
I just did the minimum.
And when it runs out, do they give you a message?
I think so.
And then you just re-up?
I think so.
Cool.
And you can pay for something they do is it's like an extra $30. You get unlimited reorders with no fees.
Oh.
So, but again, that was not clear to me how that worked.
Yeah, and for this would be, this is kind of outside of our normal main band, so it might not be something you want to do like unlimited recurring.
Yeah, I'm keeping it on the low side.
That's what I'm saying. Sure. Yeah. So for our cover stuff, it's definitely going to be more for.
It'll actually be like almost inconvenient if it blows up.
Right.
We'll have to go back and figure out how the fuck to fix all that stuff.
Yeah.
Make sure we're good. The last thing we want to do is screw over a band that we're trying to respect.
Oh, of course. Yeah. That's never our intention. We're trying to help promote these, bands that artists
like they need us.
Yeah. No, but they need everybody technically.
But we can't emphasize enough that all these covers we do are going to come from a place of like love.
Yeah, absolutely. And absolute inspiration. Like this is a band that inspired me,
we should do Estranged.
Dude, that would be really cool.
That would be awesome.
I think Slash said that's one of the hardest ones that he has to play guitar for, just because it's such a long song parts, and there's so many little things. But he said, I forget, that was an old interview, but he said that was the one that was tough for him.
The one that Matt Sorum was really struggling with in the studio was Breakdown.
Oh, really?
Believe that?
Yeah, but it's a cool song.
There's some weird drum parts in it. When he goes to that tom part, it's like. I started listening to the drums after I heard that, and I was like, "Yeah, I could see that being tough."
Yeah.
There's some weird drum parts in there. Man, Matt's a machine too.
Yeah, Matt's good. We like him.
All right.
So what else?
Beast and the Harlot, May 3rd. Look out for that.
Yeah.
Also on that day, what else is coming out?
Yeah. So Prep and Barium's got a video we've been trying to put together for a while now. We definitely ran into our fair share of strife while recording and editing this video. But it looks like probably this Friday is what we're really hoping for. So
this is the live action like music video.
This should be a really clear vision of like who the band is, what we're about. We spent a lot of time on shooting different cinematic stuff and then also live shots in our room.
Now walk me through the production process, because you were kind of the director and the DP and everything, right?
Yeah. So Kyle started this vision. Everybody knows Kyle, friend of the show, been on tons of times. He's my guitar player in Prep and Barium. He had a vision of how the video started. And then once he gave me that vision, I was like, okay, I got this. I know how the whole thing's going to happen. I had this vision. I wrote it all down.
So he gave you like the seed.
Yeah, exactly. He really just pushed me into, and then all of a sudden when I had that vision, I realized, oh yeah, I could do this. I can direct this. I need to think about how I'm going to do it on a budget and all that stuff and utilize what we have.
Is that where you got the gimbal?
Exactly. Very similar.
Is that why you got the gimbal?
Well, I got that after the photographer hit me with a number that was, remember we talked about it on the vibe, hit me with a number that was a little out of my range. So I had to figure out
last minute,
literally the day before.
And you got that thing for $80?
Yeah. $100 I think it was.
Oh yeah. And then like the day after you got it, it went down to like 75.
Yeah. You looked it up. I was showing you and you looked it up. You're like, no, right here it's 80. I'm like, oh, great.
You're like, damn it. The day after.
Yeah. But anyways, it worked out great. We ended up filming the whole thing ourselves. I shouldn't say that. We had our friend Sejan that came in at the last minute and helped us for sure. She was editing it. She had a lot of time into it. I understand that she was doing it for the low price of free, and we were very appreciative of it, but it got to be too much for her. So then I ended up taking over the reins and started editing it myself. So now we are to the point where I think I'm almost ready.
I think something you've learned time and time again is if you want something done right and timely.
Yeah. The best way is to do it yourself. But it is,
unless you can afford
it. But it is work. I'm probably 30 hours into just editing this video and trying different things. And
I love when people are like, "Can you just edit the video?" It's like, dude, you do not understand video editing.
Definitely, and especially when you're talking about art. It's something that you want it to represent.
And music videos have a billion cuts.
Oh yeah,
fast cuts and just no shot is longer than like a second.
Right, right. So there's tons of transitions, tons of timing things. You have to make sure everything lines up with beats and all that. So. Anyways, this is something I've been learning. I released the Love Lies lyric video. That was kind of a test run too of editing, a more of a cartoony animated thing using Wordle, and so that worked out cool. Yep. And just using DIY it till you die. Yeah. Just a rhyme, I guess. But learning to do something yourself is so profitable in the long run. Like you can next video. I'm first of all, I'm going to get better and better at this. The next video, I'll have a head start and already understand like what I can do. So when I'm going to film it, I'm going to approach it differently. You know what I mean? This last Strife, I filmed it and it worked out great and everything, but I really didn't know how it was going to work. So I kind of shot a lot of different things we shot a lot of different things and hope we had everything. And it looks like it's going to be good.
So it's done now, right?
It's almost done. I'm putting the final touches on it. I want to show you after we get done. Actually, I want to show you some things I'm contemplating and see what you think about it. But
cool.
Yeah. Anyways, but that'll be out Friday, hopefully. That's the plan at least, and it looks very feasible. I hate to always put a definitive date on it because you never know.
Definitive date helps you get it done too.
I know. That's definitely, that's something we've talked about before for sure. Putting a date on something, we'll get it
Parkinson's
done.
law, right?
That's it. Parkinson's law. I couldn't think of the name.
Parkinson's disease, right?
That's different. That's a little different. You shake a lot.
So we've been getting a lot of people signing up for our email list and joining our Discord.
I know,
our
dude.
Patreon.
That's great.
Our Patreon too, but our Discord, which has been really cool. The community's starting to grow a little bit.
Absolutely.
I personally reached out to everyone that joined and talked to them for a few minutes, and we got some really cool people in there from tons of different backgrounds. We have a orchestra and band teacher.
Yeah.
So she's, super well versed on all the orchestral instruments and stuff. And I was talking with her about setting up like a recording thing, like how to get started in that.
Nice.
So it's pretty cool that we can share whatever knowledge we have, which I'm not saying is a lot.
Or have you been talking to people farther away? Like
no, nobody local.
Cities? Nobody local.
Yeah,
okay.
These are all, I don't know exactly where, but they're all over.
It's fine though. I mean, like Discord's a great service or server, I guess, to be able to communicate with people from all over the place.
And I love that we can share and help whoever might need help in whatever,
Sure.
And also just talk. We're sharing memes.
Sure.
We're laughing. We're hanging out.
And we're down to check out other people's music. Like send us your music. Do and whatever you want to do, man. Reach out to us.
Absolutely. It's just a good place. It's basically where we are when we're not on the podcast.
Yeah. We're always on there. So
it's a good way to stay in touch. And all you have to do to join is just sign up for our email list.
Yeah.
That's it.
Made that
it's free. That's it. So it's really easy to do that. And if you go to musicianstalkshow.com/sign up.
And if you want a little bit more experience, you could just put in a little bit of money. $2 a month will get you to the next tier, and you'll get a free shirt. We're still running that promo like for 2 days, right? 2 more days.
Oh yeah, good point. Yeah, it's over in 2 days.
Yeah, so
one day after you hear this.
If you hear this podcast the day it comes out, you've got a chance.
A $2 T-shirt. You just want to go to musicianstalkshow.com/Patreon and sign up. $2 a month.
Yep.
First of all, we're eternally grateful. We're going to send you a handwritten thank you card to prove it.
Yeah.
And we're going to throw in a T-shirt, and this is not a cheap T-shirt.
No,
we're losing money on this.
We just want
to make you guys happy,
and it looks great. Yeah, and I think that our fans would be happy to wear it, and I'm happy to wear it. So
yeah, it looks awesome.
So, hell yeah.
But yeah, so the Discord thing is not affiliated with Patreon. That's totally separate. All you gotta do is sign up for the email list.
Right. Discord's our way of communicating with us directly. If you guys want, it's the quickest. And the more you sign up for Patreon, the farther you get with that, you'll get access to more of Discord. So.
That's a good point. Yeah. So there's like
episode prep kind of help if you wanted to jump into the conversation while me and Dallas are literally talking about what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, which is particularly fun when we have guests coming up.
Right.
So if you have, I don't know, you're a big Greg Howe fan and he's coming on the show and you really want to ask him a question, that's a great way to jump in the chat and tell us,
if you're farther along in the Patreon, you'll get a heads up on what guests are coming up, so that way you can pontificate on what you'd like to hear. Or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a good way to figure out.
All part of the permissions.
And another great perk that our patrons experience is they get all of our audio content like pretty much as soon as it's ready. We advertise a week early, but it's pretty much as soon as it's ready.
Yeah.
So you could be getting like our patrons this past week. They got they've already got the Beast and the Harlot. I think.
Right. So that's excellent.
They're already jamming to it, and you guys haven't even heard it.
Yeah, and that money that is going into Patreon, I just want to emphasize, is going into making the show better. We want to eventually get to video broadcasting to where you guys can see our whole setup and how we like to do this thing. And also,
we'd love to eventually have a designated space, designated studio,
that'd be awesome.
Or office.
Yeah,
room,
that'd be awesome. So everything, just so you know, is not just going in our pockets so we can eat. Like me and Dallas got that figured out. Everything that goes into the podcast will go into the podcast. Everything that goes into Patreon will go into the podcast.
Yeah,
that's what I meant to say. So,
man, any final thoughts as we wrap up here?
No, man, you got to go to band practice. I know, and I got my brother coming.
Band practice.
Yeah,
you're gonna snap us a pic, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Nice.
It's gonna be cool. Still, we doing the same pic kind of setup or different?
Kinda.
Okay,
yeah.
We'll do something.
Yeah, I have an idea to make it a little more flexible in the back end for me.
Okay, cool.
All right,
let's wrap it up.
Yeah, man. Sign up for the Discord email list, musicianstalkshow.com/sign up.
Yeah, short and sweet episode today.
Yeah, and we'll see you guys on the inside.
Peace.
Later.